So let's just take a few moments to arrive onto the mat and settle into the sensations of the body. Just a few breaths of mindfulness here before we begin. Soften the shoulders. Make the space between the shoulders and the ears nice and long. Gazing into the darkness behind the eyelids. Relax the eyes, all the muscles around the eyes. Taking a swallow, allowing the tongue to go limp in the back of the throat. Tip of the tongue pressing gently into the back of the upper teeth. Jaw soft and relaxed. Cheekbones soft and relaxed, no tension there. All of the muscles of the face, the forehead, the temples. Relax. Bringing our awareness towards the top of the head, the crown chakra. And just take a moment here to see what sensations arise as you focus your awareness there at the crown of the head. Allowing the breath to remain focused and steady, moving at its own pace with its own rhythm. And whatever sensation you feel at the crown of the head, let it trickle down to the back and sides of your head like rain. Moving into the back of your head, to your neck, onto your shoulders, to the front of your face, trickling down to the front of the chest, to the belly, sides of the arms, the back, middle and lower back. And kind of just pooling around you, a little waterfall of sensation. Maybe you feel it in your fingers, or on your thighs. Cascading sensation draping through all sides of your body, covering you. And still the breath steady, calm, rhythmic, and natural. No need to force the breath. No need to elongate. No need to hold. Allowing the breath to move at its natural pace. And now that we've become fully embodied into the sensations here, we'll see if we can practice a little bit of pratyahara. So pratyahara is the practice of allowing the external stimuli to enter our field of consciousness, our field of awareness, of observation, without pulling us away from this being, the sense of being present. So see if you can anchor yourself, ground yourself. Take a few moments to observe the physical body and see if there's any need for adjustment. See if there's any need for movement here. Observe if the need is there. Don't be so quick to react. So it might play out as like, oh, I feel like I need to bring some weight to my right hip, for example. So you observe that thought that arises or that need that comes up. Doesn't mean you automatically move to bring weight to the right hip. It just means you notice it. This is something that is a need for me right now. And you observe it a little longer, and you steady with your breath, and you calm into your body. And if the need keeps arising or the thought keeps coming up, then perhaps at some point you make the little adjustment. Moving as slowly and as steadily as possible, almost like you're in slow motion. And sometimes we find that several needs or several thoughts kind of pop up all at once. We remind ourselves it is the nature of the mind to think. It is the nature of the mind to have stories play out. And almost in a way to distract us. Which is why it's really important to not jump to do whatever it is that the mind suggests we do, but instead take a moment to observe and see if this is a real need, a necessity for our well-being, or if it's just the mind trying to distract us from being present and being still. So this is practicing pratyahara with the thoughts. We also do the same thing when practicing pratyahara with external stimuli, like sounds, smells, or even in daily life with visuals. So an example might be a bird tapping on the window. Remembering that it's the nature of the mind to think and draw stories. The mind might go into a whole thing about, oh, maybe that's the cardinal that comes by every day and taps on the window. Maybe I should lay out some birdseed for the cardinal so that he can eat. And you start going into this whole framing and idea about this bird simply from the sound that entered into your consciousness. So practicing pratyahara, we learned that the sound we heard is the sound we heard, and nothing more, nothing less. We treat our ears like microphones receiving sound, amplifying it within the body. But there's no story need to be made of it. And there's no need to go into a whole complete drawn out movie of this sound. We simply observe. And perhaps you don't even need to add language to it. You don't even have to think bird. That in itself is framing the sound. Let it simply be. It is part of your meditation. It is part of our stillness and part of our observation. And this will happen several times during our meditation. Sounds will come in, dog barking, car revving, somebody stepping, coming up or down the stairs. And we just observe the sounds without getting pulled into them, without being drawn to make stories, all based on this sound or sounds. And our last chance to practice pratyahara comes from our emotions. Each day will provide you with a different feeling or mood based on interactions and experiences from the day before, based on fears or patterns of thinking that you've already developed. And these emotions will be very real and very poignant at times. Just as we did with the physical body, we don't move to do anything about them right away when they come up. Our practice is about learning to not react to the stimuli. So if you have a strong emotion that rises up with you, from you or for you during your meditation, perhaps this emotion is of an anxious nature, of the future of our country or society. You observe it. Maybe you can try to give it a color. I had one student that would give it a number. See what it feels like. Where do you feel this emotion? Is it hot? Is it cold? How can you describe it? Can I really try to break it down? And we observe it like we would if it wasn't really our emotion. It's an emotion. Give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit of space between the emotion you're feeling and your true self. We remind ourselves that we are not the emotions we feel, we are not the thoughts we think, and we are not the sensations that we feel physically in our body. As we start to observe the emotion, just like the thoughts and just like the external stimuli, they start to loosen their grip a little bit on us. And sometimes that can be a little bit of a scary thought or a strange alien feeling to us, that our emotion can lose its grip, especially poignant emotions like anger and fear, frustration, and anxiety. These are emotions that tend to have a close, very tight grip on us. Also, happiness and joy tend to be very close knit to our sense of self. So we'll sit here for a few more breaths, kind of observing these three aspects of our experience. Coming back to the sensations of the body, coming back to the thoughts, coming back to the emotions, back back to the external stimuli. And all along, the breath rhythmically, naturally, and effortlessly moving in and out of the body. This breath becomes your anchor as the whirlwind moves around you. Rooted into the earth like a tree. The storm may sway your branches. The storm may guide you to push you in certain directions. But we stay rooted, grounded. Enjoy your breath here for a few more breaths. And next exhale. Continue to hold on here to the stillness just a little bit longer. We're going to add a little bit of movement. Remember, this movement is kind of begins or it stems from an internal need. So it's not moving the head down. It's almost like guiding the chin down. The external result is the same, but the mindfulness that comes with the movement is a world away. Guiding the chin down, allowing it to rest towards the chest, creating a little bit of length here into the back of the neck. Trying to keep the rest of your body as perfectly still as possible. Allowing the head to hang a little bit heavy. Trying not to round through your back or arch. Gently lengthening here. And then we'll blink the eyes open. And each blink allows a little bit more light into the eyes. As we exhale, let's go ahead and let the shoulders roll back. And then come back to a chin up. Nice lifted position. Beautiful. So let's take a moment to stretch out our legs here for a moment. So just extend one leg, extend the other. And just go ahead, maybe let's give our legs a little bit of a massage. When we sit in meditation, it can be physically challenging because we are still, and if we are limited by lots of different things like back and hips and knees and all that stuff, and sitting can be a little bit physically challenging. So let's give our legs a little bit of love. And then we'll come back to our seated position. You can sit now whichever way is comfortable for you. There's no need to cross your legs again. You can sit with your legs straight forward. So we'll add some movement to the arms here. Let's roll the shoulders back, open the chest, and let the arms just open out, palms facing up, and then start to wiggle through the fingers. And, you know, for me, when I do mindful movement, it's very internal. So I do close my eyes a lot, just so that I can really feel what it would feel like if I were inside my fingers. It sounds kind of strange, but you want to kind of initiate all of these movements from an internal source. And then let's go ahead and inhale, extend the arms to the palms facing up, the shoulders roll back. Your arms are nice and long, your palms are facing up. You start to feel this in your shoulder girdle a little bit, maybe into your biceps and triceps as well. And we're not really doing much here other than just holding the arms up. So we're moving kind of against gravity. Try not to fight gravity. That's not what we're trying to do here, but we're trying to kind of just imagine your arms resting in molasses or if they were in water. How would they feel? Can you straighten through your elbows a little bit more and really reach through your fingertips? And then inhale slowly, let's extend the arms up, creating a sense of lift and space. Now here, as we do this, you want to make sure that the shoulders don't move up into the ears, but instead move down and away. You can keep the arms separated, or if you like, you can look up and draw your palms together so that your elbows move in towards each other. Try not to arch through your back, but instead lift up through both the rib cage, the solar plexus kind of moving up, and the little space there underneath your shoulder blades. And then exhale slowly and gently, bringing the hands back to center, keeping them in prayer position. If you're not there, you can bring them together. And then just resting here for a breath or two. So becoming aware of the shoulders, the arms, the biceps, the triceps, the elbows, all the different parts of the arms that we just woke up and started to move. And we're going to do that again with a little different hand movement. So exhale, release the hands down by your sides. Same thing, palms facing up, start to move into the fingers. Feel that movement initiate from the internal source. And then exhale, slowly extend the arms out. This time, turn the palms down towards the floor. And notice as the shoulders pull back and down, the rib cage is lifted, the chest is lifted. You feel the fingertips reaching and extending. We're going to try to move slightly to the right, kind of reaching with the right hand, keeping that left hip grounded, and slowly coming to the center. We'll go the other direction. Slightly to the left, keeping the right hip grounded, and slowly coming back to the center. We'll hold here for a few breaths. Feeling the weight of the arms, but letting it be soft and gentle. So it's almost like you're resting them on some heavy fluid, some thick fluid that's holding you up here. Allowing the shoulders to move away from the ears and feel all of the body here. And then this time, instead of bringing the arms up, as we exhale, let's take them forward. So move the shoulder blades away from each other and around to the back a little bit. Reach the fingertips forward. So you're moving the shoulder blades back. And we're going to go into eagle arm. So take the palms together, bend through the elbows, nice and steady. Then we're going to take the right arm underneath the left arm, cross at the elbows if you can, and then just bring the backs of the hands together. This is option one. It's natural for your shoulders to hike up like this. So what I want you to think about is relaxing the shoulders down and pulling the elbows down towards the floor. Now, if you can, if possible, continue the twist and see if you can maybe wrap your fingers so you can create a little bit of a fist position with your hands. And then if that's not possible, just fingers up, or you can just connect here with your, however it's comfortable for you. So the hand position, not as important. Crossing at the elbows, a lot more important. And then from here, as the shoulders relax, allow the elbows to lift up as the shoulders pull down. Hold it here and breathe. You should feel a nice stretch here through the tops of the shoulders. Easy inhale, slow, gentle exhale. And gently release the elbows back down. Release the elbows away from each other so they're back together. And then extend the arms forward again, reaching the fingertips forward. Exhale, open the arms out, turn the palms up once more. Come back to that same place where we started. Soften through the shoulders here. Feel this in your biceps and triceps, really reaching through your arms, find length, like you want to reach from one corner to the other. And then exhale, let's take it back to center, palms down, open the shoulders back, bend through the elbows. And now this time the other way. So left elbow on top, right elbow underneath, cross, and back to the hands together. The same one we just did? No, I can't remember. Do the opposite of what you just did. I can't remember if we did the left or the right. This feels right. All right, and then slowly, once you're there, remember you can go ahead and wrap around. Yeah, this is the right one. Wrap around, or just let your hand rest in the back of the hands rest against each other. Pull the shoulders down and start to lift up through the elbows. Allowing the stretch to happen naturally here. And if you feel like you want to connect with your hands, you're welcome to. But again, remember, the issue here is to try to give your shoulders space and room to stretch as you pull the elbows kind of against each other and then up, the shoulders move down into their sockets. And then exhale, let's go ahead and release, elbows back to the center, arms extend forward and arms out, palms facing up, open the chest, inhale, draw the arms up, create space. Maybe gazing up, palms together, look towards the thumbs, draw the elbows towards each other, and exhale, gently, slowly, hands to heart, hold here for a few breaths. So just become aware here, how are the shoulders feeling? Easy, steady breath, and connecting with that internal feeling of movement, that's the initiator. And then exhale, let's go ahead and release the hands. Okay, beautiful. Moving a little bit into the hips and into the waist, we're gonna do some twisting. So let's take the left foot in towards the body. You can stay sitting on your cushion and then plant the right foot in front. So what I wanna try to do here is kind of create this shape with the legs that allows us to, feel pretty balanced. An option here as well is to have your left leg extended. If you don't wanna pull it in towards your body, that's totally fine. Or you can open it a little bit wider so that you have a little bit more room. So that's a choice you have here. And we're going to twist towards the leg that's standing up. So let's take the left arm, wrap it around that left knee. And it doesn't have to be the elbow, it could just be the hand. But the more you can reach around, the deeper your twist is going to be. And then we take the right hand behind you, lift up to the chest, and we're going to look back over that right shoulder. Keep drawing in tightly through the belly, so the whole time the belly's pulled in. And you're trying to kind of use that left arm and the right leg as leverage against each other. Find rotation in your spine. Steady your breathing. Come back to that initial internal source of movement, of action. Knowing that just because something is rising up doesn't mean you have to react to it. We can observe. And then exhale, slowly coming back through the center. We're going to release the bind with the left arm. And then we're going to come forward. So if your legs are crossed, you can keep them crossed. If your leg is extended, you can keep it extended. And just kind of come forward in between so that your right shoulder is close to your right knee. And again, if this isn't possible, options for you is to kind of walk that right foot forward a little bit more so you have some space, or maybe even walk it out to the side so you have some space. So you can kind of maneuver that right leg to give yourself room to come forward. If you can, gently lower the elbows towards the floor and allowing your body to just hang here for a moment or two. If you feel like you need more support, you can open your arms so that you're creating a wider base here for your body. You want to feel this wherever it rises up for you. So there's no particular place for this. Most people feel this in the inner thigh of the right hip or the right leg. But it can just depend on what's happening and what's going on with you today. And then inhale, slowly lift up, walk the fingertips in, bring yourself back to center. Go ahead and extend the right leg, extend the left leg. We'll go for a forward fold here. Forward folds with our legs extended are really good. It's really good to do the forward folds with the legs extended on a cushion because it gives you that lift. You already kind of have it. So as you come forward, see if you can extend your body down. Now rest your hands wherever they land on your legs. And remember, you can also bend your knees and rest your body on top of your knees, kind of reaching for your feet. See if you can kind of surrender yourself here to wherever your body allows. And let go of like any judgment of that you need to be looking or feeling a certain way. Just simply observe what rises up for you as you come forward here. In our Tibetan heart yoga practice, we call this kindness from the West, because we practice usually our yoga facing the east, the sun. We usually practice in the morning, so we're facing the sunrise. So that means that our backs are to the west. And this posture kind of exemplifies kindness to self, by just allowing yourself to release and come into it without forcing, without unnecessary effort. There's necessary effort and there's unnecessary effort. And then inhale, slowly lift up halfway, lengthening here. Maybe try pointing or flexing through your toes. Can't see my toes, but I'm pointing and flexing. And then slowly come back to center. Good. We're going to do the other leg. So right leg comes in if you're going to have it cross, or you can leave it extended out. The left foot plants on the floor. And then again, just take a few moments to adjust. This left foot can be as close into your body or as extended out as you need it to be. You make your choices. You adjust your body as you need to. We're going to go for the twist first. So right arm wraps around that left knee. Get a good tight grip there if you can. Sometimes maybe just the hand is enough. Sometimes the elbow feels good. Then we're going to release that left hand to the floor, lift up through the spine, and start to rotate into the shoulder. Into both shoulders, into the rib cage, and all the way down. Just feel this throughout your entire torso. Gazing back. It continues to twist into the neck. The belly is drawn in tightly, so there is no belly hanging out. It's pulling in instead, and this keeps you long in your spine. And then slowly and gently as we exhale, maybe go a little deeper. As you inhale, maybe lengthen a little bit more. Feel this in the back muscles, in the back body. And exhale, slowly coming back through the center. And then again, you can decide if you want to keep that left leg right where it is, if you want to open the right knee out a little bit more. And we're going to fold forward on the inside of the legs. So making sure this left foot stays flat, we don't want to roll out onto the left pinky toe side of the foot. So you'd be better served to open that knee out to the side and get a little bit more wiggle room there, or extend it even forward away from you and see if you can come down. So we want to come down not by leading with the head, but instead by leading with the rib cage, leading with the belly. So the belly folds down. And again, you can just rest your hands on the floor here, or you can open up your base by letting your fingertips out to the side and folding wherever your body allows. You get to choose which way feels right for you. Close your eyes and allow yourself to really come into the internal feelings of the body. Where is your body manifesting sensation here this morning? And does it trigger any particular emotion? And again, observe, like you're watching it happening to somebody else. See if you can wiggle in some space between the emotions, the sensations, and your thoughts. And they become a little bit separate. Keep the belly drawn in, keep reaching forward to the chest. And then inhale, slowly lift halfway, extend the spine. You can walk the fingertips to the hands back in, lift yourself back to upright, and then exhale, go ahead and extend your left leg, extend your right leg, back to our straight leg, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So flex the feet back towards your face. Second time we do this might feel a little bit easier. You might want to keep your knees straight this time. And then go ahead and walk your hands down, maybe grab your big toes or the sides of your feet. Lengthen your body forward and then allow yourself to rest. Go to your deepest fold, surrender here. Holding it for a few breaths. Feeling your body move as you breathe.
Even though we are still, there's no feeling of being static. There's always a little bit of movement to be had within the stillness of each posture, whether that is slight adjustments or whether that's just the movement of the breath through the body. Always growing, always moving, always evolving, always learning. This is our gift. If your elbows were able to come to the floor, maybe you can use them as a little bit of a leverage to pull yourself down a little deeper. Find yourself wherever you are this morning. Greet yourself with some gratitude. Thank you, body. And then inhale, slowly lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, slowly come back up to center. Good. We'll do one more here. We're going to do it laying on your back. I won't do it with you, but go ahead and lay onto your back. And we'll do a little happy baby. So lay flat on your back, bring your knees into your chest. And allow yourself to just give yourself a nice tight hug, roll around a couple times, maybe give your lower back a little massage, side to side, front and back, whatever feels good here. Good. And then when you're ready, you're gonna let your hands come to your knees. So your right hand to your right knee, left hand to your left knee. Open your knees so they are as wide as your shoulders. With your knees as wide as your shoulders, you can pull the knees down towards the shoulders so that there's less space between your knees and your shoulders. And then go ahead and bring your hands on the insides of your legs and grab your ankles or grab the pinky toe sides of your feet. So if you can't quite reach your feet, then you grab your ankles or even your shins. Grab whatever you can find. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale, lift the feet up so the heels reach up towards the ceiling, but the knees press down towards the shoulders. Good. Hold there for a few breaths. And you can keep this posture just as is, or you can add a little bit of movement, swaying side to side. It really just depends on what you feel resonates with you this morning. Sometimes the still happy baby feels really good. Sometimes the squirmy happy baby feels really good. So you can decide. And just hold and breathe. And your arms are working here to pull the knees down. So there is some effort being put into your arms. And try to relax into your hips so you don't feel like you're forcing. Do a couple more breaths. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Once more, deep breath in. Slow breath out. Good. And then we'll go ahead and release the legs. We're going to make our way to a comfortable laying down position. One of the ways that's really comfortable, I know for me when I practice kind of relaxation, especially when it's paired with sound healing, is to place something underneath the knees. So if you have a bolster, you can slide it underneath your knees so that your legs aren't flat, but there's a little bit of a lift under the knees. It's really comfortable and allows us to just let the legs be relaxed. Yeah, that looks good. Beautiful. And then let's let the arms come down by your sides so that there's no tension in the shoulders. And observe here your breath. Continue to observe your breath as you calm all of the body, as you relax into your senses and you let go. Surrender. Enjoy.
slowly and gently begin to bring our awareness back to our breath, back to this body, to this moment, to this space. And we'll just take a few moments here to reawaken the body ever so gently. Just start by moving the fingers, wiggling the toes. Allow yourself to feel completely present. See how your body feels. See if there's any changes that may have occurred within that rise up to the surface and make themselves aware and known to your conscious mind. Or perhaps just enjoy the feelings, the sensations in the body, and that calmness of heart, mind, and spirit. And we'll come up to a comfortable seated position only when you're ready. And we'll take a few moments to arrive onto our seated cushion and our seated position. And maybe we'll just draw the palms together into the heart, into prayer position, symbolizing the union of body, mind, and spirit. As we exhale, we surrender with it anything that no longer serves us, any limiting thoughts or beliefs, old paradigm thinking. Just let it go. As we inhale, we draw in gratitude, peacefulness, perspective, the opportunity to make choices not out of a reaction, but instead make choices out of our own kind of free and wonderful way of seeing things without being pulled and pushed into any direction. We can sit back and we can observe without the reactive part of our experience. We can make choices from a different place. And then as we exhale, we'll seal the benefits of our practice, not only for ourselves, but for the entire world, for those we love, for those of our neighbors and our friends, and everyone around us, people we don't even know, may never meet. We'll seal all this with one sound, Om. Exhale the breath away and inhale for Om. Namaste.